going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chucky! I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. I've got a good one. This one is very interesting to me because we have, I don't know what else to call her. In the title I call her a victim beggar only because I don't know. There's probably a term out there, but you can tell that she has told everybody and she has spread this story that she's the victim of this guy. Here's the problem. She takes him to court based on other people hyping her up, like, oh, you should sue him. You should sue him. He brings receipts. And when he talks, it's like, oh, wow. He has done everything he can to try to rectify the situation. And you want to hold on to that victim title so hard that, yeah, you sued the wrong guy. This is a smart guy right here. Anyways, let me know what you guys think after you watch this video. I could be way off, but I've watched this a couple times and I've tried to be careful about my words. Probably still going to get in trouble with this one. Oh well. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Call number 41S25000027. Irisha Horsey versus Terrence Fountain. Here, y'all roommates? Or maybe relationship? Okay, but y'all were living under the same roof at some point. Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit why we're here.
Basically because he breached his contract. He left in like the middle to the end of December.
Okay, when was your lease? What was your lease time period?
The lease was from August of 2024 to September of 2025. So we still have about maybe like 9 months left.
Okay, and he's on the lease and he signed it?
He was on the lease. I don't know how he had gotten off, but he recently got off the lease as of February 24. But then I got a call from the office stating that it was March 10th that I got a call from the office stating that he was removed off the lease as of February 24th.
Okay, and he moved out then?
He moved out the mid to the end of December, like right before Christmas time.
Did he pay December?
He paid December.
Okay, so it was just really January, February then?
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about? Because then he's off the lease. So you're talking 2 months.
Yes, ma'am. And then as far as like we made a agreement for the year on the lease, for him to pay his portion for the remaining of the lease. That's what we agreed upon. I don't know the reason as to how he got off, but just the simple fact, like we were on the lease and now it's given me troubles to have to pay everything on my own for the remaining of the lease, and then I have to pay my family back as well.
Okay, so what are you asking the court to do? How are you coming up with the $7,000? I need to know itemized of where you're coming up with that.
So basically,
How much is the monthly?
the monthly rent is $1,199 a month.
So basically $1,200 a month, so 600, correct? We have paid 600, 600.
It was like we have like pest control and
utility fees on top of that.
Within the rent. So that's just the rent itself, the $1,199. Everything else was kind of included, and then electric is separate.
So about roughly how much was it a month? For both of
it was about
each.
I can say roughly like $1,410 to $1,415 around there.
So about 705.
Yes, ma'am, somewhere around there.
Okay. All right.
All right. When you say roughly 1410 to 1415, that's not roughly. You have a very specific number in mind. And I'm going to be very critical of her because once you hear him talk, it changes things. I said in the intro, Not a big fan of her. And just listening to her talk, like I was on her side 100% until he started talking.
And so how did you come up with this figure?
Basically before anything, I kind of calculated, I've been to the office and they kind of calculated it up for me. It was roughly around maybe 65 to 66, but due to court fees as well that I had to pay, that's what kind of made it around the 700.
Okay,
I mean,
so you're asking for January, February, March, April, May,
June, July, the whole lease, basically, the remaining of the lease from January, because
I know that how many months is that? I'm trying to.
9.
9 months, so 9 times 705 would be $6,345. Okay, and then what else?
How much is that? I'm sorry.
$6,345.
Okay, and then the court fees that I had to pay as well.
I don't know how much those are, but okay. All right. You asked for paying separate, we don't get.
Yeah, I heard you say that earlier. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. People don't know that. In other courts they do, but not in this court.
The reason I reached that amount is because of me having to basically like struggle and having to, kind of, I know it's like pain and suffering. Just having to.
So that's why actual evidence, actual bills, actual just to know exactly how much everything is.
All right. Here's the thing. When people claim pain and suffering, you really need to do your research. You can only claim that in certain cases, in certain courts. You can't claim that here. You can claim that in certain lawsuits. Yeah, absolutely, you can. And $6,000, that might elevate you to the general civil court where you can claim that. I don't know. There's a limit to what you can do in small claims. So small claims generally means neither side has an attorney. They're both going to tell their case to the judge. The judge is going to rule in favor of one of the other. When you move to general civil, it gets a lot different. You can have an attorney, but that's where the big cases happen. The Amber Depp case, that was a general civil case. Millions of dollars, not even millions. It doesn't have to be that high. Just generally the minimum threshold is like $10,000 in some courts, 5,000 in some. Some goes up to like 20. Yeah. So yeah, you're not gonna get pain and suffering here. So she needed to research that. I'm not gonna hold that against her, but what I am gonna hold against her is that she's asking for $6,000 from this guy, and we haven't even heard him talk yet. So let's go.
Exactly what you're out of pocket. Now this 6,300, but he only goes, no, that is half, right? 75 is half, okay. So it would be 63.45 is what I got.
So it's kind of roughly around about 705, 706 each month. For, up until the lease term is over with. And then the fact that basically with the office, like I don't feel comfortable there kind of deal because of everything that's been kind of going on. With basically him going back and forth to the office, trying to get his name off the lease, figuring out ways to do those things, and it's just causing a lot of problems. I'm getting calls from the office with him trying to put violations on me, stating my mother stays there, which she doesn't. She stays with my brother. She moved out.
We're not here for that.
Yeah, so
we're just here for whatever you're suing him for.
Yeah, so this is basically what it is. I'm just.
So the 63.45 plus court costs.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. You want to tell the court anything else?
I don't know as far as like how we're going to speak about it. If you do honor it, Judge, I just feel like it's, his responsibility to pay his portion for the.
And do you have a lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Signed the lease?
Yes, ma'am. Did you need the ledger as well?
No, not necessarily. Okay. You said about 705.
I printed out double.
Okay.
Right.
I just want to see that his name's on. I just want to see that his name's on. Name's on it. You find it online?
Yes, that's one.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Hold on, it'll be your turn, I promise. I'll let everybody talk. I just want to make sure she's done first and it'll be your turn. Anything else?
No, it's basically just to cover for the months of the lease. With everything, that kind of transited right now and, and moving forward, I just want to get off to a clean slate. I've been trying to negotiate with him numerous of times, numerous calls, texts, different numbers, emails, things like that. He blocked me, and then unblocked me when he did, his charge, he tried to put charges out on me and things like that. And that's when, so it's just been a lot of back and forth things. And it was strictly with, hey, can you pay your portion? It's the last day, just trying to negotiate with him numerous of times. And didn't get anywhere. And I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and, pursue charges. He did ask to move back in. I also have a text messages for that. He asked to move back in February. I told him stipulations. I said, it's not so much stipulations, it's negotiation. And I explained to him everything like, hey, rent is due. I would need the rent for January, the months that you missed, and then so on and so forth for the rest of the lease term. And I told him, I said, we're still gonna pursue in court because I do need it in writing. So just in case this ever happens, I'll have it in writing.
So has he moved back in with you?
He has not, but he asked to move back in. And I told him, well, I can't stop you from moving in because you're on the lease. Like we're
He's not on the lease now.
Well, yeah, of course not now, but then, February, I think it was February 8th is when he messaged me and asked me.
And this is March. So he would have to pay his portion of January, February, March if he wanted to move in. And
basically, so I'm able to pay my family back because it's been a lot of stress on me with that as well.
So that would be, so you're willing for him to come back and live with you?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Well,
okay.
I explained it to you.
Okay. I was like, okay, let's figure out how much that is and we can always reset it and we can figure it out. I want to be nice.
yeah, I don't have any issues. I don't have any hatred towards anyone or any. I'm just trying to leave it to a clean slate. And like I stated earlier, I don't know how I'm going to communicate with him because per the detective, he did put out a harassment charge on me, which got closed last Wednesday because I provided proper documentation that it was about the lease and only the lease. So he told me, hey, just don't say anything, just go to court. He said, he can easily reach out to me and state that you contact. So I have had no contact with him. And I don't know how to go about that, if you do.
I can't give you any kind of legal advice.
Okay.
I'm the judge and I can't
Okay.
help you.
I think I can
I'm an
speak.
attorney and a judge. So
Okay.
I can't.
I think I can speak to the detective about
But you can talk
that.
to. All right. And you can live.
So
All right. Before ex-boyfriend comes into the mix, so I know the volume or not the volume. The volume's as high as it can go, but I know the sound quality is not great on this court. I do want to say this. This is what sound sounds like to me when I don't have headphones on. And it hit me while I was listening to this because this sounds completely normal to me. But I'm sitting there like, oh, this is going to sound bad to people. But I have headphones on and it sounds like I'm listening to my real life. So now that I, have this enlightenment, I'm going to try to do something to the audio to help all you normies out that don't have hearing problems. Anyways, so just listening to her, let's recap it a little bit because the sound quality is not the best. She is asking for over $6,000. They signed up for this apartment together. They both were on the lease. They got into a fight. Whatever happened, they split up, and He vacated. He's gone. She has been asking him for the money, the split money, because she's counting on that. He offered to move back in. She came with a list of, this is, you can move back in with this, this, and this. And he apparently said no to that. So now she's like, I'm going to sue you for $6,000 when, all he owes is half of rent for 3 months. So no, it's not anywhere near that. You can't, again, we're not going to go through the pain and suffering thing again, but listen to his side of this. This is why receipts are important. Don't fall victim. This guy, props to this guy.
again, I do have it where I am off the lease.
How did you get off the lease? I'm
Uh,
interested.
I'll explain everything to you because, I have several cases. The harassment case she's talking about, this was in February, but I also have another one this month, beginning this month. But I ended up getting off of it because the night it was December the 18th. I will have it sent over to you, but, I have pictures of her pretty much she destroyed my car. Neighbors got videos of it. She's on top of my car. She destroyed it. It was a $27,000 Camaro that I had customized and everything. And I only owed $6,000 on it. She called $7,000 worth of damage on it. Totaled it up. So, yeah. So that next day I tried to go to work.
All right, I will say real quick, that's not how totaling a car works. It's not how much you owe on the car that totals it. It's the value of the car. So yeah, I will say that his numbers are not correct there. He's not using the right figures, but he just said she's causing damage to his property. This is why you bring your receipts.
I got pulled over a little earlier because my taillights, with the damage she did to my taillights. But, I showed them that I had a case. Maybe-
This was, I have two of them.
I don't know, maybe.
One of those.
It may be that one. And I let them know that I have a case because of what she did to my car.
So do you have a case in county court for criminal
Yeah,
mischief?
so, because it actually happened that same day, because she did it early in the morning, a couple of hours had to be at work. I can actually have my job pull up the footage on their cameras, so I can get it sent to you tomorrow or sometime. She actually came to my job with somebody else and almost had me fired because she went inside the building. She was already there before I pulled up at the job. So when she seen me pull up at the job, they looped around and you can see them on the video, they approached my car. And I walk inside one area, the door is locked, so I turn around, they follow me through the other area, and there's signs everywhere, you cannot enter. You're not in dress code, meaning, your the yellow and blue boots, the proper pants, proper PPE glasses, everything. So she goes to my job and we get back to it. And make threats towards me and my family. So with that being said, the district attorney contacted me as well as I have the paperwork for, I have it on here. From the prevention, her name is Joanne Ramirez. She's been working with me, and Nunez, the detective, they've been working with me. I have several people, so from the violent prevention, Joanne Ramirez, this is when I first tried, I'm gonna show you another screenshot you can show her. Because before all of this in January, I went to that office to get my name off. I have proof of it. They contacted her twice because the only way for me to get off, she had to sign that paper. She wouldn't sign that paper.
That's what I was wondering.
So that second time, when they contacted her, because she mentioned that she couldn't pay it, she gotta pay her people back. But they also told her that if you're not willing to pay for it, let me have the apartment so I can pay for it. But she said, no, she don't wanna do that. So that's when these cases came about, and that's when threats and things like that.
You were going to, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you were going to take the responsibility of the lease by herself
Yes, ma'am.
and pay for the whole thing.
Yes, ma'am.
And she didn't want that.
She didn't want that. She wanted to stay there. So I let her have it.
So she signed off for you to get off? Or-
No, the district attorney made the apartments, give me off of that lease because of everything she's been doing. And it's proof of it, several times when the officer was there, that was at the end of, December. But everything is, when she served me, when I got served for one that came to my job, so that's the second time the cops came to my job. My supervisor told me if we have another issue, another incident with the cops or constable, don't come here, we're gonna have to let you go. So, because she put down my job address as the place of where I live. So they kept coming back. So between all of that, that affected me some. And because of everything that transpired, the people I got interviewed and everything for what's been said, what's been going on, and then the district attorney got involved in it and said that he has to be let go because I can't live with her and then all that will prove to you that I wasn't there in January or February. I'm not gonna be there. Now, when she mentioned about me asking to move back in, all of it's in writing when I went to the station on East Houston. I told him that it wasn't about me moving in. It got worded wrong. It was more about I wanted to see pictures because we had a puppy together, a friendship. I wanted to see the friendship, but she was texting me off of a different number. And her main number, I had it blocked because the last time she came to the apartments where I was staying at, because all the incidents, it's not where she stayed. It's where I've been trying to stay at and causing corruption over. She's going where she's not wanted to destroy me. I have pictures of her, of the car now that I have, because when she destroyed my Camaro, she takes pictures of it and then she destroys it, let me know she's there. I have pictures where she did the same thing to the car I got now. But this time when she sent the picture, I just so happened to have my phone in my hand and run outside to see her, and she took off. So she was planning on destroying this car too. So just back to the whole February thing, it was about the friendship. I wanted to see the dog, see how it's updated. That was us. I mean, yes, she went behind my back and made it an emotional support animal. So by law, that's hers. Doesn't matter how much money I put in it or did all that. I'm not worried about the dog. That's hers. Everything. Anything that I left at the apartment is hers. So I don't want nothing out of it. I just want a peace of mind. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been staying at actually 4 places on and off because I'm scared to stay at my mom's house because if she knows that I'm at my mom's house, something else would transpire. If I stay at my current girlfriend's house and she pops up, something else would expire. If I stay at my brother's house sometimes, because she knows where all my family stay. So sometimes I sleep in my car, and there's proof of that I'm sleeping in my car. There's no way I should have clothes in my car because I have to sleep there, wake up extra early in the morning to go to either one of their houses so I can get ready for work because I'm scared that she may come and do something. Like I've never had that happen to me ever before. And then the fact that the car is almost $30,000 and I got it down to $6,000 and you caused more damage to the car than what that car would have been paid off. Now I'm starting all the way back over to $30,000. I just got that car in December, and it's just March.
All right, I'm gonna ignore the car payment arguments because I don't think he knows what he's talking about. And if he bought the car in December and he got it down to 6,000 and now he has to start over. There's a lot that doesn't make sense in that argument. But so I'm gonna ignore that because he's the real victim in this, in my opinion. In my opinion, he seems like the one that's a little bit cray cray. Does damage to his car, gets him to leave. He offers to move back in. She sends him a list of things. He offers to just move in so she can leave. She says no. He has done so many things to try to rectify this problem financially. But then it took a prosecutor to go to the landlord and say, hey, take this guy off the lease. We're done here. And there is a statute. I know it's in Texas. I hear it all the time in Texas. If you're under any kind of domestic violence allegations or whatever domestic violence, you can get out of a lease, and that's the case in a lot of states. I know there's one in Michigan. I don't know how it works exactly, but you can get out of a lease if there's a domestic violence thing going on. And that's what he did. But it took a prosecutor to go get him off the lease. And he's still trying to rectify it. He's still showing up in court unrepresented. This is why I'm saying she's victim begging. I don't know what other term there is. I'm sure there is one when someone pretends to be a victim. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I think she is there in court because she has people pushing her to do it. She also is she's also someone that craves attention and wanted to see him and was hoping, maybe they would talk. I'm going to let this video play out. There's still a couple minutes left, but watch how fast this dude runs out of the court once this hearing is finished. I kept that part in there for a reason. He dips out faster than what's his guy, the Brazilian runner Bolt. I can't remember his first name off the top of my head, but that's about as fast as he runs out of this courtroom. All right, you guys are awesome. Please hit that like button. If you agreed with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know. I know this is a kind of controversial, and I may have gotten myself in trouble with a couple of my points, but I am, pro. I really wish he wasn't wearing a hat, but he's got dreads. I'm pro dread dude. I am very anti victim beggar. Again, if you guys know a better term for that, let me know in the comments. I'm sure someone will let me know. Even if you don't agree with me, I'm sure there's a term for her that I don't know. But you guys are awesome. Please hit that like button. Please, please, please. Until next time, bye.
I owe a whole lot on her. But for her to sit here and say that she's struggling because she got to pay her people back, but when they told you to let me have that apartment, you told them no, and you told me no. So therefore, you're able to pay it then. If you won't let me have it, you're able to pay it. But if you're not able to pay it, let me have the apartment, but you won't let me have it. So that's where I'll let it off the lease. I can show you, I actually went there in January. That was the first time. In January, it's on my phone to get off the lease. And they called her while I sat in the office. She told them, no, she's not coming to get me off to sign me off that lease.
I can't stop work just to come and sign the lease. The
How
times
would
that
you get from the apartment if you couldn't afford it?
I
January
can't,
13th out there. And my name, my signature right there, and that's the
at the
date.
moment, that's the reason
Isn't
why
that your
we,
dad with you?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, you couldn't stay with your dad?
My dad stays with my aunt. It's already
Okay.
to,
No.
That's the January 13th, that's the first time.
The smart thing would have been to do is to move out and stay with someone else and let him have it.
and I didn't.
Okay, anything else? Do y'all have anything else? I've heard enough, I think. Do you have anything else?
I did also pay my dues as well for the car itself. He asked me in December. He was very negotiative when it came to his car.
We're not here about the car, we're here about the rent. So do you have anything else
Um,
of this case? Because you have a lot of other cases.
no, I just know that the cases was really not cases per se, like incidents and things. Well, really, no, I'm just basically just trying to.
All right, the court is going to give it a take nothing, so I'm not giving you anything. Okay, you have 21 days to appeal. Okay, thank you. Clause number 41S.